stable base, relaxed open spine. Can you tune into a sense of the spine dropping in one direction and yet growing in the other direction? Dropping down, growing upwards at the same time. A sense of the spine opening, a sense of the spaces between the vertebrae opening. Relaxed yet stable and strong. Spine allowed to naturally hold up the upper half of the body. Allowing the rest of the body to relax. Shoulders can relax. Arms and hands relaxed. Allowing the rib cage, the front of the chest, the belly, all to let go. Long spine all the way up to the crown of the head. Back of the neck opening. Chin dropping in slightly. Perhaps a sense of a soft rubber ball underneath the chin. Allow the forehead to let go. Temples soften. Eyes soften. Just notice if the jaw is released. Tongue rests gently on the roof of the mouth. Starting to notice the breath moving in and out of the body. In and out through the nostrils. Noticing sensation of breath in the nostrils. Resting the awareness on the breath, noting as much detail as possible. Allowing all distractions to arise and pass. And starting to notice how the breath moves more deeply into the body. Down the throat, into the chest, back out again. Noticing how each breath is slightly different. Noticing the pauses between the breaths. Perhaps noticing how at some points the breath feels tighter or more relaxed. Areas where it might feel smooth or where it catches. No right or wrong, nothing to change, just noticing in as much detail as possible. Noticing how the breath moves the body. The rib cage, at the front and the sides and the back. Expanding and contracting. Perhaps dropping the awareness even further down and noticing if the breath is moving in and out of the belly. A sense of perhaps the belly expanding and contracting. Perhaps a sense of rising and falling of breath in the belly. Wherever you're noticing breath movements as clearly as possible down in the lowest point as possible, perhaps in the lower parts of the ribs or perhaps even down in the belly, resting the awareness down at that lowest point of breath movement. And we'll begin counting the breath. So on an in-breath 1, out-breath 2, in-breath 3, out-breath 4, and so on up to 10. And then we simply start again at 1. Resting the awareness at that lowest point of breath, counting each breath 1 to 10. Anytime you're distracted, gently bringing the awareness back to the breath counting. Anything can come, everything can pass. Resting the focus on the breath, trying to count each individual breath, not allowing that process to just become a process of counting, trying to link the count with the breath. Training the awareness to stay focused on the breath, it's bound to drift off. Process of bringing it back time after time is what retrains the neural pathways. So no need to tell yourself off when it drifts off. Just gently bring it back and continue with the technique. And you can release the counting now and just notice the breath moving in and out of the belly. A sense of the breath bringing energy into the body, fresh energy in, releasing what you don't need on an out breath. A sense of drawing that energy all the way down into the belly. And perhaps having a sense that we can start to allow the energy to settle in the belly. Fresh breath energy being brought into the belly, allowing it to pool or settle. Just using the intention to settle energy, to bring fresh energy into the belly. Right in the middle of the body. And see if you can have the intention to allow some of that energy to start to move down to the tailbone. Allow it to sink from the belly down into the tailbone. And we're going to use intention to try and move that sense of energy around the body. Just doing our best using intention. So on an in-breath, we're going to bring the energy up the back of the body, over the top of the head, and on an out-breath, we're going to bring it down the front of the body. So using the intention, breathe in, breathe up the back of the body, up the spine. Breathe out over the head, down the midline of the body, all the way down to the pelvis, around the base of the pelvis, and then back up the back of the body, breathing in. It's called circulating the breath. So we're having a sense of circulating up the back, down the front, each breath. Much as we do in Nanso Noho, we're using the intention to move the breath and noticing if there are any sensations that we can pick up on as we do that. Breathe in up the back, breathe out down the front, circulating breath energy. If it feels like the sensations want to outstrip the breath, if they want to move faster, just allow them to do that. Breathe in up the back, out down the front. Picking up on any sense of energy. And now starting to allow that energy to settle again back in the belly. Breath energy allowed to settle in the belly. Once again, noticing the expansion and contraction of breath deeply in the body. Start to allow the awareness to rise towards the surface of the body. Noticing points of contact between the body and the chair. Sensations on the surface of the skin. Light and shadow across the eyelids. And the sense of hearing to widen out. Notice the fingers and toes and bring a little bit of movement into those areas. Bring a bit of movement into the rest of the body. When you're ready to do so, you can open your eyes. Do you need a break, Neil, or do you want to get on with some Qigong?
I'm happy to get on with some Qigong.
Okay. So coming to standing. So the first thing we're going to do is what you've just done.
Yeah.
Which is we're going to yawn.
Okay, that's good timing then.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to start with, do as you did. Do a really natural yawn. Okay.
Stretch.
Come back down. Come back to normal. Okay. So this time, be mindful with your yawn. When you yawn, do that really mindfully. Try and keep the awareness on exactly what you're doing. Still keep it natural. Notice how the breath moves in and then relax how it moves out. So do that a few times. Mindfulness of your yawn. Notice how naturally the body can open and relax again.
There's definitely something in that stretching thing, isn't there?
Yeah, well, this is a very, very natural way to stretch and it's something that we do every day, but by being a bit more mindful, we can start to realize how this sense of movement, this effortless sense of movement, natural sense of flow, how we can use that for our Qigong practice. And then we're going to do a couple of yawns now. Bring the hands back down, still keep them mindful, but try and get a sense of using that yawn to connect you with the day. So another part of the yawn is you kind of look around and you welcome the day. So have a couple of mindful yawns where you connect yourself with reality, if you like, with nature, with how things are. Do that mindfully. Breathe in, yawn, connect. Breathe out, relax. Then bring the hands down onto the belly, one over the other. Get comfortable with your standing posture. Slightly bend through the knees. Drop the weight through the feet, crown of the head growing. Relax the spine. Chin tucks in slightly so the back of the neck is long. Shoulders drop. Bring your awareness to the belly. See if you can notice the belly moving under the hands with the breath. Can you get a sense of expansion of body from the belly? And then a contraction or a letting go of the body through the belly. We can start to help the hands to describe that movement. So breathing in, bring the hands slightly out. Breathe out, bring them back down into the belly. Breathe in, hands come out, a sense of the body starting to fill with breath. Breathe out, relax back down again. So the awareness is in the belly, and it's like the belly is a balloon that's expanding and then relaxing, contracting. And allow the rest of the body to start to follow along. So drop down through the knees, breathe in, allow the body to open up. Whole body starts to open, relax. Whole body, breathe out, relax. The whole body relaxes. So a sense of pulsing open, filling the whole body with breath, and then pulsing closed, relaxing, letting the breath go. Pulse open, and then pulse closed. So a sense of us breathing into the whole body, filling it with energy. Breathe out, relax, let go of what you don't need. One more time. Allow the hands to come down. And we'll move into the Badwa Jin. So the first movement, the hands, we bend through the knees slightly, the fingertips will start to come towards each other. We can link the fingers, let's do that today, link the fingers together, and then we bring them up the midline, not touching the body. The palms are facing up until we get to the level of the chest, then they turn. We're standing up now, we're straightening up through the legs, we're pushing up through the hands, and we're looking up at the hands. Okay, and then we unlink the fingers, and then we look forwards, yeah, and then we bring the hands down, palms facing out, trying to keep the awareness of the movement going as we drop back through the knees. So if you remember that sense of filling up the body with air, with breath, that's what we do to start with. Breathe in, stand up, fill the body, turn the hands, push up, look forwards, breathe out, let go of what you don't need. Breathe in, hands come up. Breath energy filling the whole body. Look up at the hands, look forwards, breathe out. Stay in contact with the awareness in the hands, breathe out. We're quite active in the fingers as they come down. You might get sensations of energy that way. Breathe in. Turn, look up, breathe out. Bring them down. Fingers active. Fingers really, tips of the fingers really active, so the hands, you'll get a sense of being active right the way through the hands. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in. Whole body fills with energy of breath. Breathe out, the whole body relaxes. Good, just stand for a second and notice how you feel after that first movement. That first movement is an opening movement to try and stabilize the body. The idea is that we move the awareness through the whole of the body and then out the sides of the body, and that we're getting a sense of stabilizing, balancing the whole of the body. That's the idea for that one. Okay, so the next one, sorry, do you want to ask questions?
No.
The next one, I'm going to teach you the slightly more complicated version of this, if that's all right.
I'll give it a go.
Okay. So the next one is called Crane Opens Its Wings. Bend through the knees again. All of them work with that sense of opening the body and closing the body with the breath. It's really important that breathe in, naturally, and breathe out, naturally close. And it's the way that will allow the body to go through full extension and contraction without any effort at all. We're looking for effortless efforts. So bend through the knees, relax, drop the weight through the feet, growing through the crown of the heads. Then the hands, they come up and it's like I'll show you from the side, it's like we're hugging onto an invisible tree.
Yeah.
Okay. The hands don't touch at the front. Okay. So we're holding on to nothingness.
Yeah.
We're going to take one hand, the other hand stays where it is. We're going to take one hand, we're going to turn it. We're going to push the palm outwards. Okay. Good. The hand that you've pushed outwards is going to rise. The other one's going to come down. They're going to push away from each other. So a hand that comes forward comes up. The other hand pushes down. See the way my palm pushes down, palm pushes up.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, can you get a sense of almost like the fingers are connected to each other? There's a stretch that goes all the way down through both arms into both fingertips.
Yeah.
You feel that?
Yeah.
Then the next part is that we open the wing. This is the opening of the wing. So we're active through those fingers. You can probably feel quite active in both sets of fingers still. Okay, and then we go to the other side. We'll add in the breath and the pulsing shortly. So hands come up, hugging nothingness. Push the other hand out now. So turn and push. Good. I think you're reversed from me, aren't you? Yeah. Turn and push, and then push away. Good. And then open the crane's wing. Good. So this time, slightly come down through the knees as it comes down. Okay. And then we're going to start to pulse. So stand up as the hands come up. Good. And then we can drop slightly through the knees. The hand comes forwards. Stand up as the hand rises. The other hand's going to push down. Lovely stretch through the whole body, very natural feeling. And then we can come back down through the knees as that wing opens. Good. Now let's add the breath as well. Breathe in. Breath filling the body. Breathe out, push the hand forwards. Breathe in, stand up, push away. That's it. Breathe out, open the wing, drop through the knees. Okay, let's do that a couple more times. Breathe in. Breathe out, push. Breathe in, stand up, hand go, that's it. And that's it, good. Open up. Breathe out, relax. Come back down through the knees. Good. Let's do one more side. Breathe in. Turn and push the hand. Breathe out, drop through the knees. Breathe in. Moving away, good. Breathe out, bring that hand down. Good. Just stand and see how you feel. The next one's called Heavenly Archer. It's exactly like shooting a bow. So we take the feet nice and wide. We work with a horse stance in this, okay, called a horse stance. A lot of this Qigong stuff is very good for strengthening legs. And we want to, throughout this, that sense of opening and closing, we're going to exaggerate again through the knees. So there's going to be a pulsing up and down through the knees. As you do that, try and have a sense of just squatting down rather than bending the body. So it's like a squat. Squat down and squat up, okay? I'm going to show you the full version, okay, not the short version. It's quite easy, this one, actually. It's not that difficult. So the hands are out to the sides, and they have a sense of like swishing, almost like we're swishing through water or feeling the air. Then the backs of the hands come together. Backs of the arms come together. You might need to look round your hands to be able to see what I'm doing at this stage.
I can see through the gap.
Now we're going to make an L shape with both hands. It's the first finger and thumb that we're going to make that L shape. So from backs of the hands touching, L shape,
and we're going to take one hand out. We're going to push that hand out with the L shape, yeah, on its side. Can you see that? Like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll be able to see the back of the hand and the L shape, and you want to stare in that point there, okay? Meanwhile, the other hand, as we're doing that, the other hand is going to draw the bowstring.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like that, and we're looking through that L shape, okay? And then from there, you can
It's
roll.
quite hard, isn't it?
You mean not hard as in strenuous?
It's hard for me to get the angle of the hands.
Yeah.
Is it something that comes with practice?
It works a lot on the tendons as well.
Yeah, exactly. I can feel the tendons. Yeah.
You'll feel that a lot through the hands, the wrists, the fingers. It really stretches out the tendons. So, I mean, it's very good for the eyesight, this as well. It's very good for the chest and the lungs. So we draw our bow. The hand that's out, that we're looking through, that can turn, and we bring it back towards, that's it. Bring it back towards the other hand, back to the hands connect, back to the arms connect, yeah. Then this part, we just bring the hands down. So we separate, bring the hands down. We swish the arms out to the side, and we just go to the other side. So swish them in, fingertips, back to the hands, arms, come out to the other side, L shape, stare through the L shape, pull the bow. Good. Feel the chest opening. Try and stay upright. Try not to lean. Good. Try and relax the upper half of the body. Good. And then turn that outward hand back in. Good. It kind of scoops around, if you like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bring the backs of the hands together. And then bring the hands down. So the full movement. Bend through the knees, okay, swish the hands, stand up as the hands come towards each other, come together. And then as we pull our bow, pull the string, we really drop through the knees.
Yeah.
Yeah, so L shape, yeah, L shape, drop through the knees, pull the bow, good, nice. Only come about this far, look, Neil. So yeah, exactly. And then that back hand turns, and we can start to stand up again. Backs of the hands. Drop the hands down in front of the body, drop through the knees. Good. Swing out. Good. Come back in, standing up, backs to the hands, backs to the arms. L shape. Drop through the knees, good, good. Hands come back towards each other, okay? Now at this point, we're gonna add the breath in just quickly, okay? So bring the hands, come back in, yeah. Down, yeah, relax, okay? Swing. So this is breathing in as we come in and standing up. Breathe out as we pull our bow and drop through the knees. Breathe in, the hands come back towards each other. Breathe out, hands come down. Swing, swish, breathe in. Breathe out. Good, drop, good. Breathe in, hands back together. Breathe out, bring the hands down. Okay, just stand and notice how you're feeling now. Did you feel a lot of tension creeping into that one?
Yeah, but I can feel the inner structure of my body almost, the relationships between the two hands, even though you don't associate them to have a relationship.
Yeah. You can feel where they actually connect up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's something that obviously, you know, it gets better with practice, gets more natural, gets more, your body will learn to be able to open up It's a nice thing to do. At the moment, it feels like I'm learning a dance move.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit nervous, and
Yeah.
I don't want to get it wrong, but
Yeah.
I can imagine that once you get it right and you're breathing well with it, it's a beautiful thing to do, isn't it?
Exactly right. So what we're aiming for is Wu Wei, effortless effort. So
Yeah.
you're completely right. You're concentrating. What's the hands doing there? If you just watch me for a minute, it's like you see how it can just flow the whole thing.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
So but it takes a bit of that before you just forget what you have to do.
You've got to get beyond the awkwardness almost, haven't you?
Yeah, but what you'll eventually start tuning into is that lovely sense of the body, the breath almost doing the work for you. You know, that when we're going, that's breathing in, the body is naturally opening. So it almost feels like the breath is doing the work, and then breathing out, it feels like the breath is allowing you to do that as well.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I like that yawn to start with, because you almost start to feel like the breath is the thing that just naturally gets on with it. You don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next part is called Wise Owl, looks over shoulder. Your feet are probably a bit closer together.
Yeah.
This one is very much driven by the hands. We'll do it standing up, and then we'll do it squatting afterwards. Backs of the hands face each other. Okay.
Yeah.
Turn the hands. Okay, so the palms are starting to, eventually will start to face each other. But notice how the wrists, the forearms, the elbows, the upper arms all start to turn. So keep turning, and eventually you'll notice how the shoulders turn.
Yeah.
You feel that comes all the way into the chest.
Yeah.
So you roll through here, and the chest is really going to open out.
Yeah.
Good.
I see.
Yeah. And then we're going to roll the hands back in on themselves, which will roll the arms. Eventually, it will roll all the way up into the shoulders. Backs of the hands face each other. Now, can you feel? Yeah, exactly. You feel we're really opening up the chest in one direction and then round in the back in the other.
Yeah.
And it will feel like, as you said, you know, how it feels connected together.
Yeah.
It ripples almost. Okay, so the full movement is that we come down with the hands, we bend through the knees, we relax the back, come down with the hands, and the hands are going to turn, and just as we did before, as we stand up, they're going to turn outwards, all the way up to the shoulders. We're going to look over one shoulder. Then we're going to turn the whole body back in on itself, if you remember using the hands, and we're going to round down. So we round all the way down, and then we just go to the other side. So open up the hands, open up the arms, look over the opposite shoulder.
With the chest out.
Chest out. Chest out, roll, and then the back is going to round as you come forwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's add the breath. Breathe in as you come up. Look over the shoulder. Breathe out. Round everything down, back in on itself, come back down to the ground. Breathe in, push through the feet as you're coming up. Look over the shoulder. Breathe out, round, roll, back down again. So just so you can do it from the side, breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Again, that sense of the breath doing the work. Standing up when you're ready, seeing how you feel. Just relax and see how you feel. That's called Wise Owl Turns Head. The next one is, again, working with the wide horse stance. Hands come gently onto the area of the above the knee. Okay, and again, this is a sense of squatting or sitting down. We don't want the pelvis to come forwards or backwards. It wants to go straight down. From this position, if you push through one foot and straighten that leg, okay?
Yeah.
Then we're going to form a line. You see that diagonal line? We're going to form a line all the way up to the opposite corner with our head. Sorry, the hand is down here. I'm just showing you where the head goes. So we look up into that corner and we breathe in from that corner. You might want to watch this first, Neil, actually. Just have a look at what I'm doing. Breathe in. And then on your out breath, we're going to bring the breath down in a U shape and relax the tailbone. So it's going to look like this. Come to the other side. Straighten that leg. Breathe in. So can you see that the head is going to form a really deep U shape? And whilst we're doing that, we want the tailbone to really feel like it relaxes. Do you want to give that a try? Feet apart.
Yeah.
Bend the knees, hands on the thighs. Push through that leg, and that's going to push the head up into that direction. Good. Breathe in, deep breath in, breathe out. Nice sheep. Good. Breathe in, breathe out, push it out through all the way through the U bend. Yeah. Okay. Keep going a few times. Try and relax while you're doing it. Really use the back of the throat to push out the air across the ground. A ha sort of thing.
Yeah.
You're right?
Yeah, just this is the first time I've done it, so.
Yeah. The U shape, good. Try and keep it going all the way to the other side. Breathe in. Deep breath in, breathe out. Breathe out all the way, good. And while you're doing that, just try and allow the tailbone to relax, the lower back to relax. Good. One more time.
Am I breathing in or out as I'm coming back down?
Yeah. So
the out.
The in breath you take in the corner. The out breath you push it out all the way through the U. You come up to the other side, and then it's an in breath there. In breath there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. In breath there. Out breath, push it out. Good. Okay, stand up, relax for a moment. It's quite
good for the neck muscles, that.
Yeah, so it's good. It's going to, hopefully, you're going to relax the neck muscles. You're going to relax the back, particularly pay attention to the tailbone area and check that that's the idea is that kind of swings with the movement. Yeah. Yeah. And it's going to feel probably quite energetic, that, because there's quite a lot of out breath. Deep in breath and a lot of out breath. So it probably will feel quite energetic.
Yeah.
So that's swinging the tail, and that's called releasing the heart fire. So the idea is that we push out a sense of like stuff that's troubling us, if you like, from the heart. It's quite metaphorical, a lot of this stuff. The next one is going to be particularly interesting for you because I don't know if you're aware of the meridians that you work with in Qigong. They're very similar to acupuncture.
Right.
And each of these that we go through works with different meridian lines. It activates. You felt feelings going through these sections here. That will activate, for example, the heart, for example. But the next one works with the bladder and the urinary system.
Okay.
So the energies that are running through the bladder and the urinary system and the kidneys as well.
Yeah.
So with this one, I'll show you first. Let me show you first, and I'll show you from the side. So you bring the hands up above you. You swing down through the knees. Okay. And then you bring the hands up to the lower part of the back. Okay. Yeah. And we're rubbing into the lower part of the back. We then straighten the legs. So that's a forward fold. And then we bend the legs back down again. As we do that, we bring the hands, you can see, bring the hands down the back of the legs, round the feet, round the inside, up the inner parts of the legs and then rub into the belly.
Okay.
And that's added to the breath. I'll show you what it looks like with the breath. So breathing in, this here, you have a sense of really filling the body with loads of energy. Breathe out, you swing. And the idea is that you try and rub a sense of energy into the kidneys. That's what's going on there. So you're rubbing energy into the kidneys, okay? As you breathe in next, you straighten the legs. As you breathe out, the hands come down. And then you breathe in as the hands come up. And then breathe out, rub the belly. Okay? So let's do it, because otherwise it will just seem more complicated than it actually is. Okay, nice comfortable standing position. So breathe in, hands up. Breathe out, swing them down. Bring them to the lower back, start rubbing into the lower back. And then as you keep rubbing, breathe in, straighten the legs. Breathe out, bend the knees, bring the hands down the back of the body. So we're breathing out, hands trace down the back, around the feet. Breathe in as they come up the inside of the legs. Breathe out, rub the belly. Try and keep the hands in constant contact with the body throughout the whole of that sequence. Okay?
Yeah.
Breathe in. Breathe out, swing. Rub the lower back. Breathe in, straighten the legs. Breathe out, bring the hands down the backs of the legs as you bend the knees. Round the feet, breathe in, up them inside of the legs. Breathe out, rub the belly. Good. Do that a few more times. Breathe in. Breathe out, swing. Rub the kidneys. Breathe in, straighten the legs. Breathe out, bend the knees, bring the hands down the backs of the legs. Breathe in, bring them up the inside of the legs. And then breathe out, rub the belly. Good. One more time. In breath. Rub. Breathe in, straighten the legs. Breathe out, bring the knees to a bending, bring the hands down the back of the legs. Breathe in, up the inside. Breathe out, rubbing. Good. The next one. We've got 2 more left to go. So this one, the feet are going to be wider apart again.
Yeah.
The thumbs are going to come inside the hands, then they're going to wrap the fingers around. Okay, so
yeah.
Gentle fists. We bring those fists into the side of the body. Okay, so we'll break it down a little bit. This is called punching with angry eyes. So bring them right to the side of the body. Yeah, you can stay looking forwards. I'm just going to show you where they come to. So right to the side of the body.
Yeah.
And then we're going to punch slightly downwards and forwards. So the punch is like that. Okay. Once we've reached the end of the punch, we have a sense of taking back what we pushed out. So we take it back and we bring it in. And then we move to the other side. We punch, take it back, bring it in. Okay. But then when we add the breath, when we punch, it's a ha breath. So your breath will go. Try that a second. You want to try and have a sense of that ha coming from the belly. Okay, so the punch will be, and then take back what you've expended, bring it back into the belly. Bring the breath back into the belly. Standing up, drop through the knees. Fist comes forward, bring it back. Standing up. So punch, drop through the knees. Good. Bring it back, bring it into the belly, standing up. Bring it back, bring it into the belly, stand up. And if you can get your head around all of these things, the other thing we need to try and do is stare with the eyes. Okay, come back to standing, bring the feet together. That tends to feel very energetic. So just have a sense of bringing the hands up. Bring the hands up, turn them over, and just use the hands to settle things. If you push the hands down here, you might feel like things can start to settle. It's a grounding kind of movement that we use with the hands to try and settle the body back down again. Okay? See how you feel. All of this stuff, it's quite a good idea to pause in between each one and just actually notice what is then going on with the body, because you'll start to pick up on, oh, that feels lively, that feels loose. I have a sense of energy moving here or whatever. Okay. And then the final part of the movement is dropping the 1,000 illnesses. It's one where we bend through the knees again. Let me show you, and we'll take it from there. The hands are going to scoop, so they scoop, and then it's like they were lifting something up with the hands. They come up the side of the body. So they come up. As they come up, we're going to start to come up on tiptoe, all the way up onto tiptoe, right the way, a sense of going up all the way to the crown of the head. Turn the hands. And then it's a good idea to have a little bit of a drop through the heels. So move the heels down slightly and then a full drop. And when we drop, the idea is that we let go of everything. So this is a finishing form. Yeah, just see what it feels like to drop through the heels. The idea is this is the closing form to allow the body to really settle back down again. It's quite powerful for that, actually. With the breath, we're coming up and we're dropping down, but we try and keep going with the breath as we drop back down through the feet. So should we try it together now? So breathing out, first of all, come down, bend the knees, scoop with the hands, breathe in, bring them up the sides of the body, breathing in, come up onto tiptoe, all the way to the crown of the head, turn the hands, and as you turn the hands, we can drop through the heels. Keep the breath going all the way down to the ground, scoop, breathe in, all the way to the crown of the head, turn the hands, drop, breathe out. Scoop, stand up, turn the hands, drop through the heels. Couple more times. Turn the hands, drop. Last time. Turn the hands and drop. Stand, see how you feel. Step the feet slightly wider. Hands turn out towards the side of the room. And we're not going to link this to the breath. We're just going to do this once, allowing the breath to just do whatever it wants to do. So bring the hands up. And as you're bringing the hands up, see if you can have a sense of bringing peacefulness up. Use the intention to gather peacefulness in the arms, in the hands. Gather a sense of peacefulness, whatever that means for you, up above the head. And then use the hands to bring that peacefulness down through the body. So the hands in front of the body, but we're going to draw that peacefulness down through the head, through the neck, washing through the body with peacefulness, tranquility.
all the way down through the body. Follow its journey. What might it feel like to wash the body with this sense of peaceful, tranquil energy? All the way down through the soles of your feet. Just stand, see how you feel. And we'll conclude the practice in a fairly traditional way. It's a nice way to round things off. So your dominant hand forms into a fist. So bring that dominant hand up into a fist. Yeah. Wrap the other hand over the top of it. And we do 3 bows. So as we bow down quite low, their fists can come to the forehead. And our first bow is to each other for sharing this practice today. And then we stand back up again. Hands come back to the heart. Our second bow is to our teachers, past, present, and future, for sharing their knowledge. Standing back up again. And our third and final bow is to ourselves. And in bowing to ourselves, we bow to our parents, our grandparents, all the way back through our lineage to a source of oneness. And standing back up again. Okay. Quite a lot to take in.
Yeah, loads.
But how did you feel?
Right. I mean, I look forward to, you know, the time when I can do that like you did on my own. For me, my journey is about learning that and watching you do it, watching other people do it as well on YouTube or whatever, you know, just to get familiar with it all, really.
Yeah.
Because it's every part of it is a certain shape, is the reason for it. It's a technique, isn't it? So it's about learning the languages of each stage, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's this form of Qigong, and every form of Qigong you'll find is practiced in a huge variety of different ways, actually. And part of the reason for that is that once you start understanding the basics movements, you'll start feeling into subtleties for yourself.
Yeah.
So you'll go to this position and push, and you'll go, oh, I can feel a real sense of something going on in the ring finger there, for example.
Yeah.
You might move accordingly. You might move the hand so that you increase that sense of sensation, that sense of stretch through that one particular finger. So
yeah, I mean, I even found it hard to have my hands flat against each other.
Yeah.
It's quite difficult. Again, it's something that comes with practice.
It will come with practice as long as you let go of it. If you strive to achieve this sort of stuff, it's very difficult. But if you just let it come, own accord, you'll find that the body will start to just naturally. It's such a low. It should be practiced in such a low impact, low, sort of stress way.
Yeah.
Unlike any other activity, it should really start to just open things up very fluidly, very naturally.
It reminds me of swimming.
That's
Because the
nice.
stretching and the breathing.
Yeah. That's nice, actually, because in swimming, obviously, you're flowing through something.
Yeah.
And actually, it's nice to feel like you're almost like this, you're flowing through air.
Yeah, but you've got to get the breathing right, otherwise you breathe in the wrong bit, you'll be underwater. Like when you do a breaststroke, you breathe, at a certain point, don't you? Very specifically.
Yeah. This is quite unlike other types of exercise where they'll tell you that when you're like pushing, when you're extending, you should be breathing out.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah.
So in a lot of yoga, for example, the strenuous, stretchy type stuff, that'll be an out breath. But if you use the breath as, when it was like in the body and then it expanded with the breath and then it contracted with the breath. That sense, if you use it like that, the breath, when it opens up the body, is going to open it up without any tension at all. It's just going to naturally move to those areas.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's more like that. It's more like the yawn scenario.
Yeah.
Rather than what modern or semi-modern physical exercise will teach you. Actually, it's if we're free flowing with the breath, then that's going to open up the body, which is kind of against some of the things that you would learn in other, activities.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Should we leave it there for today?
Yeah. Thank you very much, John.
All right.
Thank you.
Should we try and make this a weekly thing?
Yeah, definitely.
On a Wednesday at 9?
Yeah.
Nice.
Sounds good.
And actually that works really nicely because it's midweek. It's easy, kind of, it's a memorable time, I'm sure, I think, and we'll split up the week. So
Yeah.
Wednesday sounds cool.
Okay. Thank you.
Pleasure. I'll see if I can dig out a video. Well, I've been recording most of this, I think, and it will help you. But I'll see if I can dig out another video which will help you with particularly with the Bhadwaj Jin as well, if you want to try that.
Yeah. Is that the name of the exercise we just did?
It's called the Bhadwaj Jin, and that means the 8 silk brocades.
Right.
So there's 8 of them, but they're meant to be practiced like silk brocades are sections of silk.
Yeah.
That kind of wrap around each other, and the way that they flow and move in that really flowing, non-resistant way, that's the way you're meant to practice.
Right.
So that's why it's called the 8 silk brocades.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
And before we go, were you able to tune into that circulation of breath throughout the body? What did you feel like with that? Do you remember we did that in the meditation?
Yeah, that's a new thing, so I'm just learning, I guess.
Were you able to kind of use the intention to bring the breath up the back and down the front?
I think so, but I think what I'll do is once you send the video, I'll try it on my own. That'll be the next. That'll be the next meditation I do. Now will be that one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I started the recording late. You probably heard me clicking around because I suddenly realised that we hadn't been recording. So
okay.
But it will start basically at the point at which the body is settled. So if you just settle yourself in and then start the recording, you'll get exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting used to the settling now anyway, because that's one thing that I have learned.
The grounding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, that's the setup, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the basis for everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. All right, mate. Lovely to see you.
You too, John. Thank you.
All right. Give us a shout anytime you need to. Otherwise, I'll see you in a week's time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. Thanks,
Mate.
John.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. You too.